Actually, I was.
Show me.
Let's talk about you. This is mental. No, when did you say?
Once again, Sadiq Khan does what he does best: dodge questions, twist the narrative, and turn any serious debate into a circus of arguments and deflection.
You weren't in favour of a national inquiry. The Prime Minister wasn't in favour of a national inquiry. In fact, the Prime Minister said people who are somehow far right, I think is the term he used. I was in favour of a national inquiry, and I certainly am not far right.
In yet another heated exchange in City Hall, instead of giving straight answers about the grooming gang scandal and his long-standing refusal to back a national inquiry, Khan resorts to arguing, evading, and playing word games, completely wasting everyone's time.
The first point is, I've been quite clear.
And look, I don't know what you all think, but in my honest opinion, Khan absolutely should be investigated over the grooming gang scandal. He's openly admitted that he tried to block investigations and even pressured Keir Starmer not to launch a national inquiry. That's serious stuff.
The members, let's be quite clear.
What you're about to see is genuinely shocking. Pay close attention. Please, don't forget to hit like, share this video, and leave a comment below. Because yes, there are groups out there doing everything they can to stop debates like this from reaching you.
You say that the Met said there was no gangs to look at, but Alexis J was surprised by that and thought that the Met needed to do more work. I just put that in a slight balance. I asked you the question, you weren't in favour of a national inquiry. The Prime Minister wasn't in favour of a national inquiry. In fact, the Prime Minister said people who are somehow far right, I think is the term he used. I was in favour of a national inquiry, and I certainly am not far right. So this demonstrates how he might be wrong. But my question to you, Mr. Mayor, what has changed? What has changed to persuade you, and if you can answer on behalf of the Prime Minister, I'd appreciate that, to now accept the need for a national inquiry?
Well, Chair, will you allow me to answer the various points raised from the member in his question. The first point is, I've been quite clear that there are no reported cases of the sort of grooming we are talking about, but the Met aren't complacent and they are vigilant, and they will look at whatever help they need to give the public inquiry. The second point I would make is he's never asked me about my views on a public inquiry. So to put words in my mouth, saying I'm against a public inquiry, is what I call misinformation, disinformation, and a lie. And
so you were in favour of a public inquiry?
Can the member point to an example where he's asked me about a public inquiry and I've dissuaded from
Well, you don't need me specifically to ask you. Anybody in the room could ask you. You could ask public. You were in favour of a public inquiry. Is that what you're telling me?
There has been a national inquiry. There has been a national inquiry.
No, this inquiry we're talking about now, you were in favour of that. Is that what you're suggesting? Because if you are saying that, I will stand corrected.
Well, the members, let's be quite clear. The member said, I've been against a public inquiry, and what's the reason for my U-turn? That's what the member is saying. I'm asking him to point out where I've said I'm against a public inquiry.
And I'm asking you to point out where you said you were in favour of a public inquiry. Well, yeah, I think you laugh and you gesticulate. If you can say that, I quite happily will take it back. But you've never publicly said you were in favour of this national public inquiry.
Let's deal with the evidence and the facts.
You obfuscated. We know that. Answer. Tell me. Show me.
There has been a national inquiry. Professor Alexis J had a national inquiry. She made recommendations, which the Conservative government ignored. Not one of her recommendations did they follow through on. Where was Lord Bailey jumping up and down saying to the Conservative government, why aren't you implementing the recommendations? Where was he?
Actually, I was.
Show me.
Let's talk about you. This is mental. No, when did you say you were in favour of this public inquiry? You obfuscated then. You're doing it now. And look, I already told you. If I'm telling people something that you have done incorrectly, if I'm incorrect, I will absolutely take it back and apologise. You just demonstrate to me when you showed support from a public inquiry. Job done.
So that Lord Bailey is now claiming, let's be quite clear, Lord Bailey is claiming he publicly criticised the Conservative government for not acting.
No, Lord Bailey is asking you to answer the question. Don't obfuscate by making it about me, right? When were you in favour of this national inquiry like you said you are? Chair, he knows I'm under time pressure and so I'm going to have to leave it there because of time pressure, but you know you didn't do that.
It's clearly not that serious if he's going to give it up already. It's either a serious issue he wants to talk about it or he doesn't. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Let's move on unless there's...
Please, don't forget to hit like, share this video, and leave a comment below.